Of YouTube, back with another video, and I want to make this quick video about how to express yourself and why it's important to express yourself. um I'll start off with, everybody knows what the meaning of the meaning of expression is, which is just it's an action of kind of, you know uh bringing out what's inside of you in any kind of particular way. Um, or I would go as far to say that expression is art. It is an art. I would actually say expression equals art. So this is why we have different kinds of arts, right? We have like arts and crafts, we have martial arts, um we have dancing is a form of art. All of these things are ways of learning how to express what's in, right? And you see people ice skating, doing whether it's going to the gym. These are all arts, these are all forms of expression, right? And why expressing yourself is very important is because we have to learn that it's very important to push out what's going on within your internal world. So we have to learn to push out what's going on in our internal world, right? And what happens is that a lot of people don't know how to do this, right? And a lot of people become very stagnated inside of their energy, to the point that they don't express themselves. They don't in conversations sometimes they'll just kind of be stale. um they possibly don't want to go out. um they don't really interact too much. And sometimes this could be, we won't get into it too much, but a lot of times this can be due to bad experiences that happened to them when they were younger. So they kind of learn to stop, expressing what's in, right? But it's a very important thing because you, if you learn about life, everything is a push and pull, right? Everything in life is push and pull, right? To our breathing, to our blood circulation. Um, you can see this in nature, whether it's with the water, the push and pull. We have to learn how to, it's also within this, give and take relationship within life. And we have to learn how to simulate this also within our emotions, and when we're learning to express ourselves, right? Sometimes even because these emotions that happen within you, if they don't get expressed, because I can go deeper into it, talking about the soul, because the soul wants to express itself. The soul wants to be free. So if you don't express the soul, right, through the art forms of what nature has gave us, right? And these art forms can be through expressions of emotions and learning how to kind of learn how to dance with these emotions within life. Then these energies within us will become very stale. They'll become stagnant. If you ever learn about water, when water doesn't move, it becomes polluted, right? So everything in life needs to have a particular flow, right? When you notice that there are these little stagnations inside of people's energy, we know that something is being blocked and something is not being expressed, right? Something's not being expressed. And it's very important to um take care of whatever that block is so your energies can flow, right? That's why it's very important to pick up extracurriculars, right? Right? Such as any sport, even if you're older, sports, read, paint, uh what else? Write, journal. What else can we do? Garden, right? These are all forms of expression. They're not just forms of expression, but some of them, like even gardening allows you to engage with nature. And something like gardening is beautiful because you're using your own internal emotions, your own internal energy to engage with natural resources. So when you're engaging with natural resources, um, in a very beautiful in especially in a beautiful intentional way, it will give back to you. It will give life back to you. It would also show you how to express yourself, right? These are like expressing yourself, I can't say it enough, is a very important thing inside of our life. um I'll probably leave you guys with this. That's why it's important to, like, especially when you're especially when you're in social settings, be bold, right? I want to challenge people inside of this, especially, right? Inside of this concept, especially, because not enough people do this, especially in social settings, right? We have a lot of followers, right? We have a lot of people that just, social settings is like a cancer to your life force. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a society that has rules and things like that. It's not it's not something that's quote unquote bad, because we need those. We need in some way this foundational kind of rules to kind of, engage with everybody that we know, that is some type of norm, so we can go on our day-to-day basis. But the thing is that I think a lot of times in these social settings, in these environments, we allow it to run our entire life, to the point that people don't people don't take risks to get out of these social dynamics. So they stay inside of these they stay inside of a a a social emotional energy, that they don't learn how to express their own energy within these social settings, because they're afraid to. And when you follow this all the time, this will slowly kill your expression of yourself. You'll start to become more like, if you ever watch SpongeBob, and you know about the normal SpongeBob, where he's just like, "Hey Patrick," he has no emotion. When you know that SpongeBob is a very bright, and he's a very like funny sponge in the water, you'll get, you know you'll get more of that, the normal SpongeBob, when you're constantly doing these interactions in social settings. You're not you're not being yourself. You're not being a little bit crazy at times. You're not being a little bit, out of the wild. You're just staying in this kind of confined social emotional cues, just to not disturb the energy. And you have to realize, uh you have to disturb the energy sometimes. It's okay to disturb the energy, you know the reason why it's good to disturb the energy sometimes, because it also helps other people. I've seen this inside of my life too, because when you disturb the energy, it allows people to also remember that, it's okay to be who you are. And when you know how to do it right, I'm not saying disturb the energy in a very like, there's people who really, really like disturb the energy, and they don't know how to really, kind of, you yourself have to be a balanced and healed individual to kind of give off this disturbance. Um, but when you yourself know how to express yourself authentically, um it becomes like, you disturbing the energy becomes very natural, because people can feel your energy. They can feel your natural vibe. Like, it's not something that's like, it's not stagnant. It's like a natural flow. It's more of a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you go to the beach and you get that fresh vibe, like, oh wow, I haven't felt this in a while, after like you've been or like, it's kind of like when you've been you're going to vacation, and you've been at work, you're tired, you're bustled, and then you go on vacation, and you're like, oh man, I haven't felt this in a while, like this feels good. That's the kind of disturbance you want to do to the energy, right? When you're in these social settings, you want to disturb it in a way where you allow people to be comfortable inside of their own skin, and it's okay to be uncomfortable. But I'm gonna leave you guys here. Let me know if you like this video. Peace.